Miracle. We are here at Rythmia with the beautiful Sherry and Jessica. These beautiful souls have given me a courageous yes to be today with you guys to share the amazing, miraculous week they just had. And I'm also very, very grateful to be with you as it's been a while. And today, I was called to their table. Well, you gave me that beautiful look, and I'm like, "Hi, Sherry." And I said, "Would you guys like to come to do this Facebook Live?" And they gave me an immediate yes, and I'm so grateful. And one of the things that you said is and Jessica's, this is her first time. So before we get into that question that I have for you, where are you from, Jessica?
I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada.
Canada.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Sherry?
I'm from Troy, New York.
New York. Okay, Canada and New York. And so is Sherry's second time here at
Yes.
Rythmia, and it's Jessica's first time, and they happen to be a roommate. I didn't know this just a few minutes ago. So Jessica said to me in the table, Paola, everything has been positive for me this week. So can you tell us a little bit about what did you mean? What's the feeling tone behind everything was so beautiful for me?
Well, the experience here. So even upon arrival, just being greeted like you're special, like you're precious, because that's what it's felt like here, which was amazing. And the actual ceremonies were unlike anything I've ever seen. Just the feeling of being welcomed and safe and cared for and protected was, I think, what made me or allowed me to completely open up and accept the plant medicine and have very life-changing results.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And you said, I have never done anything like this before.
No, I've never done any sort of hallucinogen or anything that I've been able to explore myself with in this capacity.
Okay, and was it helpful to be with Sherry in the room as a roommate?
Yeah, it seems like the universe put us together because she felt like a mentor right when I got here, which was also very special because I found a kindred soul.
Oh, so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And this is your second time.
My second time here. And I have been doing spiritual awakening work since 1971. So I'm one of the older people here. So if you think you can't do it because you're old, if you're not as old as me, then you're young. I'm 77.
So beautiful. And since 1971.
Since 1971.
And when did you find the medicine in this path?
It was before I came here. Back in 2010, the end of 2010, I retired from my work in the prison system and gave myself a retreat with the Pachamama Alliance to go to Ecuador. So that was my introduction to the medicine. And then I heard about this through other friends who'd been here. And I thought, oh, well, I liked it the first few times. I'm going to try it again. And so my first experience here was before COVID, and it was just amazing. And then coming back here, it's like people they can't all be this nice, but they really are. They're just the sweetest people I've ever met anywhere. And I travel all over. But this group of staff, this group of people who are here taking care of us are just, every single one of them is just amazing and sweet, wonderful, kind.
Yes.
It's just the stunning experience.
It's beautiful. And I love the conversation from the moment you land here and, staff every week, the conversation is of a high frequency.
Yes.
Of possibilities, of a miracle.
Yeah.
And I think, what you think is what you create. So that's I love that about Rythmia too. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, compared to the first time to this time, for you personally, what what do you see the difference has been? And yeah, and especially with the miracle and the insights you've had.
It takes me doing things to really learn them. And so having this second experience has taken me deeper, has taken me through a quieter but much deeper experience. And the first time was great. So it's just always been wonderful here. And I was surprised to see it was such a big group that everybody knows who you are and everybody is reaching out and supporting and making sure you have the best experience. And I had a fall the other day, which was, just surprising, but everybody was taking care of me and concerned. And it was me taking the fall because I was looking backwards as I was walking forward. I don't recommend that anytime in life, but I do know that I've done that before. So.
Oh, that's so good. And you also said that, Jessica, that from the moment you arrived, you're seen, you're being seen,
Yes.
You're being taken care of. And that has been, especially for a first timer.
Yeah.
So it really alleviated any anxieties I was maybe having. Even though I knew to come here, I felt called to come here. I felt ready in my life to come here to release old baggage and stories that weren't serving me. There's still always a wonder. I'm doing something new I've never done. But I was made to feel so safe. Yeah. And the positive energy, you couldn't help but jump on board. Yes. and enjoy riding that wave.
Beautiful. And so your ceremonies, were they usually the first night, because it's so new, it's the first time you do this? And how was that for you?
My first night was amazing. Now, when I knew I was coming here, which was serendipitous as well, I really prepared my body like they suggested, which is plant-based diet and really taking care not to have alcohol and really having a clean body so you can have the best experience.
Yeah.
And that was very vital. I had the most amazing first time, and I almost felt guilty. And then I realized, no, that's my journey, but I was giggling all night uncontrollably. It was coming up from a place I didn't even know existed. I was shown that I was part of the universe and I was woven into every thread of the universe. And she showed me that I am pure light. And I was allowed to be in this place of complete bliss. And just, I could smell color.
Wow.
I know. And if people were having more of a difficult journey around me, it seemed like these giggles would come up out of me. And then I would hear them giggling. And after the ceremony, some people said thank you, that if they were in a place they were journeying through that was difficult and they could hear me giggle, they would start to giggle and it would lift them out of their difficult journey so that they could feel some relief.
Oh, wow. I love that you said that I was allowed to be in a space of complete bliss, something like that you just said.
Yeah. It's like I felt like I had permission. And then I realized, I think I've had permission all along. I just didn't know.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Wow. And Sherry, how about you? Like, how are your journeys? I mean, you are this beautiful, experienced, awakened being. So how does it play out for you?
It's fascinating to me because each time I take the next step, it's like picking up a comforting conversation, and it's being embraced and welcomed and told, you've done a fine job here. And so there's a reaffirmation. And I also, every now and then I need a booster shot, and the first night here, this time, I just felt such an awakening in my third eye, and it was like opening and stretching and losing some of the crustiness that might have built up, because COVID was hard. We were stuck in our homes. I lost a mother and 2 aunts during this period of time, but it was like being back in touch and them just touching base and saying, "You're still doing good, kid." So
I love that.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to someone that is thinking of coming here, that might be thinking kind of like what you referred at the beginning? If you think you're this and this,
yeah. Well, I think that if you have started being interested, then come here. And I know from my experience that sometimes I make these commitments and I think, oh my God, I'm about to jump off a cliff, or what was I thinking? And just center yourself, talk to people. I was in and then I was out this time. I had come in 2 years ago and had just a powerful experience, was prepared to go back. We couldn't get back during COVID. And so then I said, yes, I'm going to do it. And then I thought, do I really want to travel during COVID? But it was just my mind trying to talk me out of whatever the next step on the path was. And this was it. And a good friend of mine was going to come with me and couldn't because of situations in her life. And so I just got back to the point where I said, no, I was called. I'm going to go. You've done this before. You've tried to talk yourself out of it. Just listen, pay attention. So I got here, and even though it wasn't going to have my roommate that we had planned, one of the things that happened is that when I recommitted and said, yes, I'm definitely coming, Jessica tells me her timeline, and she decided the day after I decided to be back here. Wow. She decided she was going to be here. Mm-hmm. And then she wasn't here at first when I first got here, but I came back from an orientation and there she was in the room. Perfect roommate, perfect situation for what I'm ready to do right now. It's just amazing.
That's so beautiful.
I ended up here because I listened to a podcast last March that Jack Canfield was on with Mind Valley. Okay. And they were talking about rythmia. Mm-hmm. And I knew about Chicken Soup for the Soul. I really enjoyed the podcast. And I thought it was so phenomenal that someone his age would never stop exploring themselves. They would never stop exploring their heart, going down their path, down their journey.
Those are the best teachers, the ones that never leave the student seat.
Yes. So I actually came down here to renew my visa, really, to the US. Mm-hmm. And I had already booked my flights, but I wasn't planning on coming here. The place I was going to go to, I found out was closed for the rainy season. And then when I was thinking about where to go, this memory popped in my head of this podcast. And I went, oh yeah, Rythmia. This sounds like a really interesting place. So I called. And when I talked to the concierge on the phone, who was really easy to talk to, and he said, it's funny, we were fully booked, but we just had a cancellation.
Your roommate?
Yeah. And I said, oh, that's really interesting. And he said, yes, it's because we have an international speaker coming.
Jack Canfield.
And I said, who is that? And he said, Jack Canfield. And I went, what? So this feeling to be called is so much more than just, I wonder if I'd like to try it. It was so much more than that. It was, everything was aligning to get me here. And the days I booked the flights happened to coincide with the week that was available exactly, Sunday to Sunday. And I just knew right away. I said, it doesn't really matter how much it is, I'm coming, because everything is pointing me to this.
Beautiful. I love that. I call that a sacred yes. When you receive that call, can't ignore it.
No.
You just
Right.
say, okay, yes.
It was just way too exciting to ignore. So
Right.
So good,
Yeah.
so good. Any final words for those who are watching right now and they are thinking whether to return or whether to do this for the first time? Anything that comes from your heart that you would like to share?
That it's just a powerful, embracing, supportive setting. It is an amazing experience.
Mhm.
And everyone here just exudes service. They really, really want to support people. The other thing, I'm so impressed that Jerry had this vision.
Mm.
He called this into being. He was called to this work, and it's phenomenal. It's awesome to be here in this space and know how it's just meant to be. So I recommend you come anytime, whenever you're ready.
yeah,
Get your miracles.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry.
I think in my life everything's under control. I have a lot of responsibility, and sometimes I don't want to control everything.
Ah.
And coming here has allowed me to just be and to enjoy the journey and to not have anything under control. But it feels more powerful. It feels more, this whole place, staff, guests, Jerry, it's just full of love.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if you've ever needed a community, if you've ever not wanted to feel alone while you're self-exploring, then this is, I don't know of any other place in the world you can do something like this and feel that way. And
Yeah.
I healed a broken heart. I merged with my soul. I relaxed and let her do the work for me. And she delivered on her promise. If I just get out of my own way, she took care of me.
I love
And
that.
now I go back into the world with a full heart, to lead from my heart, to be in service for others, and just wanting to share my experience here so that other people can give themselves this gift, because it feels like a gift.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing I've ever given myself.
Yeah.
Mm.
So good.
Yeah.
It is a gift. It's a gift that we all deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I
It
love
is.
it. Thank you.
Mhm.
And you're all such amazing instructors
Mm-hmm.
and so generous and kind and
Fun.
fun. You're so much fun.
Inspiring teachers,
Yeah.
beautiful staff that make you feel loved. The food is love. Everything about the compound is just, there's no vacation that would ever compare to it. And you get to discover yourself. It's like 2 for the price of
Right.
1.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one other thing. I got in a cart the other day. One of the drivers in the cart, and I asked him how long he'd been here, and he said he's been here a few years now. But he said, I love this place. He says it changed my life. It saved my life.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I second that. This place changed my life.
Yeah.
Here I am, 6 years later, still serving our rhythm. I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you, ladies.
Thank
you
you.
so much for
Thank
saying
you.
yes to this.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Yes.
It's the
Yeah.
easiest yes ever.
Be back. She'll be
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
You'll be back.
Yes. Yeah. I will.
Well, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and I am trusting that this conversation inspire you, tickle your heart, and then you also give a beautiful big yes to your self-discovery, and remembering that, as Jessica said, you are allowed to be in that space of bliss because that's who you are. That's your nature. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.